Hannah felt a strange change in her body after giving birth to her child. Her back suddenly started to cry, and her lips started to look like a little mustache. Her teeth were already sharp and pointed. In the beginning, she didn't pay much attention to all this, but an incident changed her mind. One day she was playing with her son in the park. Then some small dogs suddenly came around her. Seeing Hannah, they got so excited that they recognized their own companion. Hannah didn't think much about it, but one day, a strange crack came up on her body. She broke it with a needle, and the surprising thing was that about 30 centimeters long wire came out of it. With this, her smelling power also increased a lot. Now she could recognize many different smells in ordinary things, like she could remove the smell of 8 types of spices from an ordinary thing. Now Hannah started to doubt whether she was really changing into a dog like her mother. She remembered that in her childhood, she changed her mother into an animal in the middle of the night, and then she disappeared in the darkness of the night. That same night, the sounds of dogs barking suddenly came out of the house. When Hannah came out, the same small dogs in the park were present there. At first, she thought that these dogs had come to play, but soon she felt a strange feeling. She thought all this was a dream and started to joke with her son. Then her son brought a dead rat and entered the house. Hannah went to the door while running and saw that there was a pile of dead animals there. At this time, she understood that whatever happened the night before, it was not a dream. It was a dream that she and those dogs had caught and brought together. Hannah was once a great artist and owner of an art gallery. But after her son's birth, she left her career so that she could raise her son completely. Now all the expenses of the house were on her husband, who used to come home only for a few days a month. The rest of the time, he used to stay outside. Gradually, Hannah's body also started to change. Her energy started to run out, and the shine disappeared in her eyes. One day, when she went to her son's school meeting, she saw that the rest of the mothers were like her. She laughed in front of the children, but alone, she was tired, and she was very tired. Her husband, who used to come home only to talk that he would help, but in reality, Hannah had to do everything. One day, she saw that her husband was playing mobile and left her son alone in the bathtub. In anger, Hannah threw a towel on his face. Hannah's life was now just around her son. Her own existence was lost somewhere. But when she found out about these dog-like changes in her body, she thought that maybe this is a way of freedom. To find out the truth, Hannah went to the library and asked the female librarian there if there was any book about changing women's animals. The librarian was shocked for a moment and then brought a book, Myth Kie Mahila Sangathan. The book said that in ancient times, there were women of a mysterious caste who changed into huge birds after giving birth to children and kept flying all their lives. Hannah started to feel drowned in this story, assumed that she is also flying until her son's call pulled her back to the ground. Now she started to understand why many women experience the same experience of changing into animals. One day, when it was time to eat, she took a spoon and put it in her mouth. When it broke, Hannah picked it up with her hand without shaking it and started eating. This was common for her son, but it was a new freedom for Hannah. She started eating so hard that she started making dog-like sounds. However, the strange eyes of the people around her made her again conscious. She quickly cleaned her face. At the same time, the librarian was passing by, who told Hannah that she had also ever behaved like a dog with her child, and the children liked it a lot. This gave Hannah a deep peace of mind. She was able to communicate with the librarian about her family and career. Hannah wanted to know the secret of balance between the two, but the librarian was in a hurry and moved on. That afternoon, when her husband returned from the tour, Hannah took a chance to take a bath. But when she saw the body, her body had developed a dog-like smell. Still, she ignored him. She just wanted to take a good bath. But then her husband came and complained that the milk in the house had run out, and she was taunted to not be a good girl. Hannah was angry about this. She shouted at her husband's irresponsibility and irresponsibility. At night, when she was sick and was unable to take care of her son, her husband was busy playing games again. In anger, Hannah opened the book again. And at the same time, the sounds of dogs barking came out of the window. She felt completely lost among the dogs. She knew that now she had really become a dog. She was running freely on the streets like a wild animal. She hunted a wild rabbit and pushed it into the mud. Then she suddenly turned back into a human being and returned home. Now, when her husband went out again, Hannah took a breath of relief. This time, she did not feel lonely. She adopted a new method with her son, the game of becoming a dog. They would eat in the grass with a bowl and made a small doghouse for her son, which now became her bed. Her son began to feel very comfortable and safe in it. Now, for the first time, she could sleep peacefully. Hannah understood what the true secret of motherhood is. She began to share her experience with other mothers. She said that after the birth of a child, she felt like an animal. She said that after the birth of a child, she felt like an animal. She said that after the birth of a child, she felt like an animal. In spite of being a child, he was shining. Some had such a good husband who also helped in the household chores. Hannah felt sorry for herself. She felt how lonely she had become. When she accidentally ordered a tasteless salad, she picked up a burger from the table in anger and ran on the road. From that night, Hannah changed every night into a dog and started stealing the moment of freedom. But one day, when she was playing with other dogs, she suddenly remembered that she had a pet cat at home. When she reached home in fear, she saw that the cat was dead. This cat was the most beloved of her husband. Hannah felt that her freedom was coming at the price of the loss of others somewhere. Her husband was angry. He asked Hannah why she didn't call him before. This made Hannah even more angry. She shouted and said everything, how she left her art, her dreams, and what she got in return. The husband just listened quietly. Now she also began to realize how lonely Hannah was. The conversation increased, and finally Hannah asked for divorce. The husband asked her if she was regretting her motherhood. Hannah refused. She said that she had not been able to make a balance yet. Now the husband went out. At the end of the week, the son would stay with her, and Hannah would have time for herself, for painting, for running, to meet friends. Slowly, her body became normal again. Now she didn't need that book. When she went to the library to return the book, she found out that the book was never in existence. The librarian smiled and said, "Your eyes are shining again. You have found yourself again. I am proud of you." The husband also began to change himself. After spending time with the son, he also began to feel the difficulties of the house. Finally, Hannah did a new art exhibition in which she saw the struggle and beauty of motherhood. People appreciated the exhibition. The librarian also came there. Hannah now realized that the librarian was perhaps part of her imagination, her own soul that was showing her the way. The relationship between the husband and Hannah also began to improve slowly. Now they had made a balance between family and career.